I lost 20 pounds in 10 weeks eating these, and I'm going to show you how you can too. The fitness industry is a strange place. You have half the industry telling you you can't eat any processed food at all if you're wanting to drop body fat. Then you have half the industry telling you you can eat whatever you want as long as you're in a calorie deficit. And no one knows what to think or believe. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the things you need to know to enable you to drop body fat while including your favorite foods like these, and how they can actually help with fat loss. Let's start with an important fat loss scale. This is the scale of flexibility. One end we have zero flexibility, that is no processed foods allowed. On the other end we have complete flexibility, that is anything goes as long as it fits your macros and calories. Now there's a few issues with these extreme ends. They're both difficult to help us stay consistent with the things we need to for fat loss. So let's come back to this in a minute. What are arguably the three most important things when it comes to nutrition for fat loss? One, we have calories. We need to be in a calorie deficit to drop body fat. That's taking in less calories than we are expending. Two, we need to be consuming enough protein. This is important for muscle retention and to help us manage our hunger. Three, we need to be consuming a good amount of nutritious fiber, vegetables and fruits, mainly to help us with our hunger management, but of course for the nutritious value too. Back to the scale of flexibility. So what are the issues with the zero flexibility side of the scale? Well, it's very restrictive, which means many people might find it very difficult to stick to this consistently over time, meaning they might actually struggle to stay in a calorie deficit because at some point the over restriction will likely lead to us over consuming in the foods we have been restricting. If this happens frequently enough, a calorie deficit won't be sustained and it's not great for your relationship with food. Now, what's the issue with the complete flexibility side of the scale? Well, if we're not smart about the foods we're consuming, then our protein and fiber intake might very well suffer, which isn't great for our overall health, but this also might mean our hunger management isn't great, which could then once again make it harder to sustain a calorie deficit if we're hungry all the time. And no deficit, no fat loss. So what's the answer? Somewhere here, somewhere in the middle. You can move slightly towards one side more than the other if you want, but I'd say aim to be somewhere in between the two. This way we can make it easier to sustain a calorie deficit while also consuming a diet that will be beneficial for our long-term health and weight management. This is where continuing to include some of your favorite foods is helpful because it allows some flexibility, but we're also learning to consume them in moderation. If you can learn to develop your nutrition within this area of the scale, I can guarantee fat loss will be 10 times easier to achieve and sustain. Unfortunately though, these ends get more attention and get more views, so people talk about them more. If you found this video helpful, please do drop a like because it helps me. Make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with more of these videos. And if you want to follow me on other socials such as Instagram and TikTok, Drop Fat with Matt is where you'll find me. See you on the next one.